What's up, everybody? How are you? How are you? How are you? Yes, yes, yes. Okay, Dr. Nicole here. Welcome to the Boundaries to Bliss Lounge, our Thursday night live show. I'm a little bit late. I apologize, but it's for a good reason. You might notice that the scenery is a little bit different. It's because I am coming to you from a cruise on my way from Miami, first stopping in Mexico and then in the Caribbean. And I thought this was I was going to cancel it, but I said, you know what? We need to go live today because today's topic is actually about what? Travel, femininity, and finding your joy and bliss. And so, with these technical things, sometimes you run into glitches. And so I had scheduled to go 8 live as we always do on Thursday nights. But you know what? We're a little bit late, but that's okay. It happens sometimes, right? And I'm on my way to the pink party that they're having here on the cruise. So I had to get dressed up in my best pink and then come on down to join you guys. I don't know if you can see, it's beautiful scenery. It's completely, the water is back there. I'm on the 15th floor or level of the cruise. I'm on the Norwegian Joy, which is one of the great ships as part of the Norwegian cruise line fleet. And well, you can see the reflection, but it's literally the water out there. We are sailing and we are going to Mexico. We are going down through, passing through the Gulf of Mexico. And we are just enjoying ourselves, enjoying life. So I thought, what better time? And I'm probably going to also do a live tomorrow in the daytime so that you can see the beautiful scenery, the beautiful view. We have a balcony room, but there's this great observation um, uh, uh, viewing area where you can see, like, from the perspective of being in the front of the ship. You can see straight ahead all the water and everything. So I might go live and show some of that tomorrow. But I'm so happy to see you all here, and let's talk bliss, joy, and femininity, and how travel can help you to achieve that. So I thought it was so cute today that we're having a pink party. Now, I know pink is the color that is typically associated with femininity, but it's not about the outward, right? Like we said, but it's cute to dress up and look nice and have all your little accessories and things like that. Um, but, the real flex is actually having that inner peace. And I have been traveling. If you all don't know, I have a travel book and I talk a lot about travel and interweave it because travel was a big part of my femininity journey. As I said on I think a few lives ago, um, femininity is something when you observe it in different settings around the world and you see the power that women have, you really understand the power that's within you. And so I've been traveling since the age of 13. Story time. When I was 13, my parents sent me for 5 weeks. They were not with me for 5 weeks to a children's camp in Europe. And that is where I met children from all over the world. And if you are in the chat, make sure you put a comment in the chat. Hopefully I can see it if you have a question. But I met children from all over the world. And that is when my mind was open, my mind and my heart. And, I got into the study of psychology. Part of it was because I wanted to understand human beings, human nature, what makes us tick, what makes cultures do what they do, like what is the motivation and the reasoning behind our commonalities as human beings, but also the things that make us different. And from then, I have never stopped traveling. I have traveled to now, I'm on 43 countries. I have lived in 4 different countries doing work, research, work missions and so forth. And I've done a lot of repeat offenders, as they say. I've repeated, gone to a lot of different places. And now well, not just now, but I have been bringing my family along all the time. My mom, sometimes like when I went to Ethiopia to live to do my dissertation research for my PhD, Guess who came to visit me? My mom. When I was in Grenada doing work, mental health work, when I was still getting my PhD, guess who came to visit me? My mom. My husband and I love to travel together, whether it's going to Senegal, whether it's Morocco, whether it's in the States, going, to Miami, Vegas, all over, East Coast, West Coast, Africa. We are doing a European tour sometime in the summer. And then, like, my kids, no matter what, like last summer, I went to Atlanta for the podcast summit. And of course, I bring them along with me, not just to travel, but just to understand and see things and get to know people, understand entrepreneurship and living in your power. And guess who's with me now? My husband couldn't come this time, but my mom is with me and my kids. And I'm here with a group of other travel advisors helping to make other women and families and other people in general, their travel dreams come true. And so my kids are picking up gems and they're understanding and they're getting not a touch, they're used to it, right? They are understanding a luxurious life, a soft life, a life of ease. Now they understand that you got to work for it. This doesn't just come to you. They know mommy and daddy have worked hard. They know grandma has worked hard. They know their grandpa, like they come from people who are disciplined and focused, but they also come from people who understand you get to enjoy the fruits of your labor, of your discipline. Now, while I was never involved in hard labor, I have been disciplined throughout my life and focusing and delaying gratification, but that doesn't mean you delay it forever. And travel is a great way to combine so many things. One of them is being in the moment truly. I am in the moment here on this cruise ship. Uh, and we will be getting off in Mexico tomorrow, we're going to be looking at the Mayan ruins. Like you're in the moment, you're learning, you're connecting with those that you're with. And as you do that, you don't have time necessarily. I'm not going to say it can't happen at all, but you don't have as much time to worry and be all uptight about things. And like everybody on this cruise is just in a state of bliss. I can see it on their faces. We're not talking about politics. We're not talking about differences. You got people that probably have all kind of different views, but you know what? We are in the moment right now. We're enjoying, we're eating well. I told someone there is no better place, or there are few better places to develop healthy habits than being on a cruise. Let me tell you why. And I know cruises get a lot of slack. There are all levels of cruises. There's some that fit your budget. There's some that fit your luxury sensibilities, your destination, the length of time, amenities, all of that, right? But here's the thing about a cruise and a resort, any vacation in general, but a cruise in particular. You have access to tons of food. Now, there's tons of bad food, but there's also tons of really, really good food that you don't have to go out yourself and shop and get. There's fruits, there's vegetables, there's juices, there's healthy teas, there's proteins, there's grilled meat, there's vegetarian options, right? Breakfast, lunch, and dinner, snacks in between. You have access to relaxation. You're looking out into the ocean. You're looking at the scenery. You're in a beautiful place. You're looking up. Yet last night my kid said, "Mommy, look at the stars," right? You're in a state of wonderment about just life in the world, and we exist. God created this. The other thing, so that clears your mind, that relieves some of your stress. The other thing is you get to exercise. You get to exercise so much. I did 13,000 steps yesterday on a ship. Now, some of us on land can't even get 2 or 3,000 steps, but on a ship, I got 13,000 steps. You can walk up and down the steps. There's exercise places, there's places to work out. And because you're not driving there, you're not going through the hustle and bustle to do all of this stuff, you get to focus on eating well, sleeping, resting, relaxing, and moving your body. And those are the pillars of well-being and health right there. So there's no better place to get healthier, to start healthy habits. And I would say to those of you that have a sweet tooth, you got to practice some discipline. I'm not saying you can't have any desserts, but it can't be all the time. For those of you who like to indulge in alcohol, you got, that's where a lot of calories and just, you're not always feeling your best. I don't drink, but I know some people do. And you got to practice some discipline. But other than that, you are in a state of beauty, bliss. You can focus on the present. You can have joy, right? And so I want you to think about, I think every woman, in order to truly be in her feminine, has to have various different uh, travel experiences. Okay. One is a luxury travel experience. And we're going to break it down. Two is a solo travel experience. Now, they could overlap, these aren't mutually exclusive. Three is some great family travel, right? Whether it's just you and your boo thing, you have kids, you have a family, extended family, right? Um, Three, you need to experience different regions of the world. So, stop going only to the Caribbean or one place, right? You want to explore your country. You want to explore different regions that are close by. And then you want to go try Europe, try Africa. I was at a seminar today and we're talking about how to book some luxurious group travel experiences to Africa. And so I'm going to be able to book like up to 16 different locations for different levels of luxury travel to Southern, East, and Central Africa. Okay. So I say you need to have every woman, every grown woman, every woman really leaning into her feminine needs to experience luxury travel. And that may vary what it means. It means it is something nice and beautiful. Let me tell you a funny story about my kids. We departed on the 26th, I want to say, or 27th. I might be getting my days mixed up. So we went to Miami the day before. I just booked a hotel that was close to the port. I was just like, okay. Then I saw Holiday Inn. It was like 2-minute drive away. We booked the Holiday Inn. As soon as, and look, no shade to the Holiday Inn because I read his brand story, and shout out to, I think his last name was Wilson or whatever, the guy that started it. He had a vision for what he wanted. But I would say Holiday Inn is probably like 3 stars or something like that. So we walked in and my daughter was like, okay, this is meh. Like basically she was saying, this is not luxury. Okay. So wherever you're starting, luxury is going to mean different things to different people, but you should feel good. You should feel excited. You should feel happy when you walk in. You should feel like you're in the presence of beauty. And beauty is a very important attribute to indulge yourself in, right? Like that's why I always believe you should, when you're at home, you should don't. I believe you should look good, comb your hair, put on some lip gloss, put something nice and beautiful and soft on. You should feel good for you, right? So luxury is going to vary. It's not always about the amount of money, but it's about the quality and how you feel in it, right? So every woman really trying to lean into her feminine needs to have a luxurious travel experience. I think every woman should know how to travel alone. Oh, back to the luxury travel. It could be also include wellness. So wellness travel is a big thing. And I'm able to really infuse health and wellness into any aspects of travel. So it could be what are you eating, right? When I went to Thailand, that food was so healthy. And I looked at it as I'm doing a detox, like all of the exotic fruits and teas, drinking green teas, and just like really indulging, right? So that's part of the luxury is really nourishing and feeding yourself. So the solo travel, you need to know how to navigate the world, right? That was one of the reasons that I was so happy that my kids have been with us so many places. They understand about passports and visas and customs, and traveling is so much about observing more than talking. And travel is something that you have to really lean into the process, trust the process. You're not going to know every single thing. Like, are we doing this? Are we doing that? Right? You're going to know some things, but you're not going to know every single thing. So you have to trust the process. You have to lean in. You have to know how to be observant and Also to have boundaries, right? Just because everybody, when you're traveling as a woman, people are going to come up to you. They might be talking and, wanting to get to know you. You don't have to be rude, but you need to understand your surroundings and you need to know what your boundaries are, right? So it's a good practice in that, in boundaries and in understanding your surroundings. And then the other, so we said luxury, solo. You also need to experience family travel. You need to know what it's like to be with the people that you love in different settings, right? Don't be selfish. If you've traveled more than some of your family members, show them the ropes. If they've traveled more than you, let them show you the ropes. Remember that show? It was Survivor, but it was another show called, I forgot, but it would be you and another person, like a family member, a friend, or something like that, a spouse. And you all would be in teams and you had to do these missions, and it would literally take you around the world. And so you had to really understand what it was like to travel, go through adversity, ups and downs, joys, the pain, and all of that with another person. And so we know that travel is one of the ways that you really get to know another person. And in fact, in Islamic tradition, the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, I'm sorry, I'm in a public area, said that travel is one of the ways that you get to know. You should travel with someone. That's how you get to know them, right? So don't be selfish. Don't only do the, the solo travel, right? And then the fourth type of travel, as I was saying, is you need to explore different regions of the world. Travel should take you outside of your comfort zone. It should allow you to push the edges of what you're used to and experience something new. That's where the real transformation comes in. And that's where you really start to feel comfortable in your femininity. You start to see, first of all, oh, side note, y'all know I get off track. So, they had a big chess set, like a life-size chess set. They have it here on the cruise. And so I've been spending time individually with each of my girls. So my oldest, we went up there and we were playing chess. And you have like these big chess things that you move, this big chess pieces, you're standing up. So we were talking about the different pieces. Like we were saying, okay, a pawn, that's why it's called, they say somebody's a pawn in the game. You're really not significant. You're there to be sacrificed. And then we were talking about the different pieces. And when we got down to the king and queen, she said, actually, the queen can make more moves and has more flexibility in her moves. She is the one that can do the most on the chessboard. And I said, yes, that is the power of us as women. It's not about force, but it's about all of the ways that we can navigate and maneuver and understand the situation and decide, are we going to go this way or that way? It's not just, a one trick pony. So that is one of the things that you get when you travel and you stretch your horizons and you allow yourself to experience different things. You get more confident in yourself. I can tell you, I lived in Ethiopia for 10 months completing my doctoral dissertation. That was one of the most powerful learning experiences of my life, right? I had to rent an apartment. I had to find my way around. I had to know how to take public transportation and buses. I had to know the difference between scammers and people who were sincere, right? But I also learned my power as a woman, that it wasn't about fighting everything. See, when you travel and live abroad, you observe things. I remember being in Dubai one time. I've been there several times. I was in a hotel, and if you know anything about Dubai, you know the service industry has a lot of people from Asia, usually the Philippines, some from Thailand, and a few other places. And the Filipino workers, they're very good at hospitality, very kind and helpful. But sometimes a worker at the front desk can only do what they can do. So this lady she was from the States. She was like so mad. She was hollering and yelling and like, I'm not going to take this. This would never fly in America. And I was thinking to myself, sis, you're not using the power of your feminine. You're going to get so much farther with especially because I know the region, with the people here. And these hospitality workers, if you change up your tone and stop using force, right? And that's the power of having different moves and different tricks, not even tricks, but different tools for how to handle conflict, how to solve problems, how to resolve things, right? So I just wanted to come on here. I don't know if there's any questions. Let me see if I can see in the chat if there's any questions about travel, anywhere that you want to go. I have literally I've been to Africa, Europe, Asia, South America, of course, North America. I have not been to Antarctica. I have not been to Australia, the Oceania or whatever they call it. So that's my next mission. And each region is different. I love the fact that being here, there's workers on the cruise from all over the world, but I'm a social observer. I observe like demographics, and I observe that there's a lot of Filipino workers here, the servers, the other workers. There's also some of the like house or floor managers. We met one from Indonesia. We'll be fasting here on the cruise starting on Saturday, God willing. But you just get a chance to shed all of the stress. I don't even want to look at the news and the social media. Not to say that you always have to keep your head in the sand, but at the same time, sometimes you need a break. You can't be consuming negativity all of the time and expect to be in a state of not just joy and bliss, but balance, inner balance, because that negativity, exposure to it, it affects your thoughts. It can even affect your stress levels, your cortisol levels, because you're feeling like you're under threat. So you need to take time, even if it's just, and I'll end with this, even if it's just a staycation in your own town, something where you make a retreat, go to a hotel, rent a nice Airbnb, do something in your own house, make your own sanctuary, indulge in nice, good food, and watch a movie that you want to watch, and wear your nice pajamas that feel like I have on my little satiny shirt right now, right? You deserve it. You deserve joy. You deserve bliss. You deserve to be in balance. You deserve to maintain your femininity and not be swayed and pulled all over the place, even if it feels like things around you are going crazy. Okay? I'm so happy we could still do this live. I'm going to have to stop because this area is going to be closing down soon. I'm so thankful that you all joined, and I'm sorry I started late. But like I said, technical difficulties, so to speak, or glitches. But the Thursday night lives, 8 p.m., the Boundaries to Bliss Lounge is always going to happen. Unless I'm in a place where I do not have access to internet, it's going to be a thing with us. Okay, so I'm so happy that you all joined, and I will see you next week. Don't forget, new episodes of the podcast, The Secret Formula of Femininity, drop every Monday. This most recent one, you don't want to miss it. It's with an interview with a relationship expert, Bob Grant, and he talks about becoming the woman that men adore. I think you'll want to watch it, even if the title, some women are like, what? Why do I have to, right? We know the whole thing, right? But if you really want to be that woman that is really taken care of, nurtured, and just cherished and protected, you want to watch this latest episode on the channel. Okay? All right, everybody. It was so good spending some time with you. Let me see if I can walk around a little bit. You can see this pure beauty. Well, nobody's here, but this is a beautiful lounge area. Okay? Yeah. So I will I'll put a post up on the channel to let you know when I'm going to go, what time I'm going to go live tomorrow, so you can see the inside. I don't know if you can see. So you can see during the daytime, um, it's just absolutely beautiful up there. Okay? Take care. See you guys.